Boom, we're back. And we got some really good news. So we basically have the PMOS 100 1.4 version is now available, and it's basically the future of DJing, of as far as scratch education and turntablism. We now have a more advanced loop feature as well as AI scratching, where you can tell the PMOS 100 what to do and give it some scratches as a reference point, and it'll start scratching them in a kind of randomized fashion. And we're gonna make different patches of different versions. This first one's gonna be called HAL 9000. This particular preset that scratches on its own. So let's start off with the DJ Qbert scratch called the Prism. And just so you know, there's some reverb in this room because this is a room recording. All right, so it's a screen capture via QuickTime and a room recording. So there's a little bit of reverb on these event speakers. So I got two event speakers about like 4 or 5 feet away from me, each of them. All right, so here's how it sounds. So that's when you click it with the mouse. Now you can also trigger things with the actual keyboard, and it's a lot more responsive with the keyboard. So your computer keyboard can control this, as well as MIDI can control this as well if you get a bridge program. We have the links on our site for that program. It's like $3 that lets you bridge it to MIDI. All right, so let's play this again. Now, before, if you wanted to loop this, you would have to just keep, playing it over. So, I was doing that on my own time, but I'm going to click the loop lock button. So this is this new switch we have. It's loop lock, and I'm going to hit it. And before we had just the kind of arpeggiate mode where you had to be holding down the button for it to loop. But now it can loop without you holding down the button, right? And you can let go of the button. So that's a big step up. And then the AI thing we're going to show in a few. So yeah, here we go. Let's turn it on. So let's hear what the Joel Cooley scratch sounds like looped. And we're going to add, in newer versions, we're going to add features where you can change the cross rhythm versus the half speed of the scratch, all that type of stuff. So y'all might have seen my lecture. It's one of my most popular lectures on the different variations of 2-click orbits. Now you can hear what they sound like continuously. In an educational matter, you don't have to play it with your own hand and hold the buttons down to actually loop it. So it'll just loop on its own. All right. Yeah, so let's keep playing some of these orbits, right? So this is the one that most people do. This one right here. Let me turn the loop button on. I'm going to click this one. So this is the 2 triplet click orbit. This is the most common 2-click orbit that people do, where it's just perfect triplets where it's going what-a-da, 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 what-a-da. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now here's the next one. So that's another Qbert scratch, the crescent flare right here. This is a crescent flare. Qbert invented this since we've been talking about the Craze versus Qbert beef and battle threats by both parties. Qbert wants a live scratch battle. Craze wants a digital beat making battle. Online beat making beef, right? All right, so yeah, so we have the Prism Scratch, Q's Prism Scratch. So that's how you would have to hit it before, but let me just turn this on so you can see. And y'all might remember the lecture that we did on the connection between the crescent flare and the 3-click orbit, because the crescent flare and the 3-click orbit are pretty much the same thing, except the duration of your scratching hand, not your fader hand, but your vinyl hand, is going to be twice as slow with the 3-click orbit. You're just going to go forward, backwards, whereas with the crescent flare, you're going forward, backwards, and it's the same actual movement. So 2 crescent flares and 2 3-click orbits can fit into the same space with the same clicking patterns, but you're just moving your hands differently. So let's play that. All right, we're going to play this 3-click orbit. So now, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of tutorials just off of this, so I don't have to do it physically when I'm speaking to everybody, because these are all pre-recorded. These aren't digitized scratches. These are actual real cuts from a real record, on a real mixer. This was all real stuff. It was direct input though. It wasn't room recording. It was a direct. These are all direct inputs, and they were also cleaned up too. All right, so like all clicks and stuff like that were zeroed out and stuff like that. All right, so let's play this. Let's play the crescent flare. So this is a real popular scratch, the chirp flare. And just being able to hear it, played over and over again is very, very helpful. It's very, very helpful for people that are learning, just to be able to hear it. And you can also slow it down. You can change the speed. But we're just going to focus on the actual cuts today and this looping functionality. All right, and this is the scratch that I showed Qbert. You can see the wah scratch is a video at Virgin Megastore about 24 years ago, right before I unveiled my second book at Qbert's show, the Battle Sound show. I got to show Qbert a scratch at Virgin Megastore, and it was the wah scratch. So this, you guys hear me do this all the time in the ciphers that I'm in. And these are all real scratches. So I recorded all 100 of these real scratches, and they're all, timed properly and stuff like that. So you can, these are going to loop in different ways. So the ones that are faster, it's kind of cool because it's going to make some like more video game kind of sounds where you have like this log stab. All right. And then some. Right, and that sounds like a video game, right? With the inflections. And we were just talking about inflections last lecture with E40 and his voice. All right, so let's play this. So for learning, this is a great tool for learning, as you can see, because then you can just kind of go through these, and, I was just clicking on them. I wasn't even using the keyboard. The keyboard, you can control these as an actual, virtual turntablist scratch sampler instrument. But in this mode, if you're just clicking it and you're just kind of, looking at it from an educational standpoint and learning and hearing what it sounds like. So let me keep these looped. Let's see these over here. These tangents are pretty ill. And to the people that already have this, this update is free for y'all. This update is free for y'all. Just, DM me and I'll send you this update. because we're not gonna have people pay more until we get to 2.0, but we're at 1.4 right now. So this is version 1.4. So just holler at me if you need the update for this. But yeah, it has AI mode, it has AI scratching mode. But we're gonna get to that in a second. But we're gonna just hear. So this is one of my favorite new scratches, the DJ Trouble's delete scratch. Let me loop that up. And you can still trigger it too. So I was doing that just by clicking this picture, clicking the button. You can also do that by triggering the button on your keyboard. Your computer keyboard controls all these 100 different scratches. So these are 100 different modular cuts that you can repiece together and make millions, billions, literally trillions of different patterns. And so yeah, let's turn this back on. So let me play that delete scratch again. So you hear D Styles, D Styles is one of my favorite turntablists. You hear him do a lot of these type of things where it's like, a lot of a click with some kind of pausing and taps and, using longer stretches of a sound, because a lot of times, the phrase scratchers are just scratching small parts. But, he's doing both. He's phrase scratching and he's, scratching sounds. He's got a good mix of the two. Because, some people are just 100% phrase scratch. But yeah, so yeah, he's one of my favorite tableists. Let's see. So let's loop up some more of these. All right, so y'all get the point. All right, so now we're gonna go to AI mode. All right. Actually, I'm gonna hit some of these actually with the keyboard. I'm gonna do a little joint with just the keyboard first. So yeah. So before I was just clicking it with the mouse. Now I'm gonna click it with the keyboard. So yeah. So let's see. All right, so y'all saw that. I was just playing around, and I was just hitting the computer keyboards. And that time I wasn't even using shift or any of the patterns. I was using the first 40, the first top 40. I was just jamming with these first top 40. When you hit shift, it's the next 40, right? And then when you hit option, it's the a little bit more complex. It's 20 different ones that are kind of scattered around. So it's yeah, but yeah. So now that it has this loop function, you don't have to hold down the button for it to loop, because before you had to hold down the button for it to loop in loop mode. But we're keeping loop mode. The original loop mode, we're going to keep that. But yeah, this new loop lock, basically lets you release the button and it'll keep on looping when you're releasing. So, it's great for education. It's great for jamming because it quantizes it. So, that's what quantized scratching before you're hearing everything unquantized. When I was doing all those jams, all that freestyling, with the PMOS, using different controllers and stuff. All that stuff's unquantized, but this is quantized. Basically. So, so y'all heard what that sounds like. So now we're gonna show, what this like AI permutation of that actually sounds like. And also, you can also speed this up. Let me show you how that you can actually speed this up. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna let's make this 100 and let's say 160 beats per minute. Let's just put a 6 there. All right, so it's going to be 160 beats per minute now. It's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put it on Joe Cooley's at 160. All right, so you can see there's a lot of different permutations that you can do. All right, so let's go to this this AI sequencer. So this is let's turn that off. Let's go to this AI sequencer. And for those that are familiar with the other modes, we've got type notator mode. So I'm gonna just type. All right, you see? So I was just messing with that, right? That's notator mode for those that are new to this. Typewriter mode. So this is just using the computer keyboard. I'm using just the regular letters in the keyboard, the numbers and the letters. Whoops, I gotta type in here. And this one you can add emojis and spaces, and it's a little bit different. Oh, we gotta fix the lines on this one, the spacing. But we've got the fix on that on another version. But yeah, this one is the typewriter mode. Let's see. So let's go to the sequencer. All right. Oh, calculator mode. I forgot calculator mode. Calculator mode. You can do. It's a calculator, 100 button calculator. Right. I can do 25 plus 38 equals, right, 63. Right. Now, if I turn this thing on, I can do calculations and scratching at the same time. So calculator, unmute, and oops. Let me go to calculator mode. And so let's go to 27 times 57 equals, all right. But if you're just playing these together, it's its own scratch hash. Hash is when you know have a numerical code that's representing something. It's basically like a receipt. So it's saying this is like the receipt of what transpired. So that you hear that half of that 3-click orbit, you know, it's number 77. You see? All right. So that's the calculator mode. All right. Now let's go to the sequencer mode, the AI sequencer. So yeah, let's just do some basic. Let's just keep this going. Let's just do a forward cut. Actually, no, let's base this not on forward cuts. So you know you can feed the AI this AI version of the sequencer. We're gonna be coming out with the regular version of the sequencer, but that's coming in a newer update. But this AI thing is functioning already because you know it was acting kind of glitchy, and that's what we want for the AI is that it's kind of randomizing the scratches. So yeah, so we're gonna feed it some scratches to start with. So I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna base it on a chirp flare. So now I'm just gonna click loop. I'm gonna click play. Oh yeah. Remember I hit that fresh thing. It remembered it. It's remembering what I'm clicking. But it remembers what you click. You can add stuff real time to it. More suggestions. Now I'm at an M flare. Y'all see that? So now I'm gonna add another suggestion. So you can add as many suggestions as you want. Now I'm gonna add a prism in there. Oh, it might have crashed. Let's see. Here we go. See, it added that new prism. See, it added those suggestions. So I just suggested those 4-click tangents. All right, so y'all saw that. Now let's add some more. Let's add some cuts. Let's add some. All right, so y'all see that. So that's AI scratching. So y'all seen it now. That's the first time y'all seen that. Some real AI scratching where you can feed it different actual cuts out of 100 different cuts, and it'll start scratching. So you know we're really pleased with this. This is a beta version where you know we're changing this to AI DJ version. You know, so it's going to be different presets, different types of AI, different types of randomizations, different types of ways you can feed it stuff. But this first DJ, we're gonna name him Hal. So yeah, so this you know if you need this 1.4 version, just let me know. We'll DM it to you. Yeah, and let's see what this. Let's speed it up some. Let's go with this. So we're gonna keep those same things, and let's keep it like electro speed. Let's see what this sounds like on some electro. Let's do like some slow electro. Let's just do 120, some regular 120. All right, so let's go. All right, so that was like a different version of that where they're going faster. Uh, but yeah, so so this thing can do it. It's very very powerful engine, and it's great for people that are learning scratching. If you're learning scratching, you don't have to get super deep with it. You can just be focusing on I would say 2 cuts per for a week. For 2 weeks, I would say just focus on mastering 2 different cuts every 2 weeks. You got 52 weeks in a year. So, maybe you can get 25, you could lock down 25 cuts in a year. And if you have 25 cuts, you can, really slay cats. You know what I'm saying? Like 25 cuts is a lot, right? Like we just saw that this thing that I was feeding this sequencer, it wasn't even, 25 cuts. It was just like, under 15 cuts. So, and you can choose the types of cuts that you want to, master. So let's play this back. All right, and we're gonna add some more in there. Let's add some. Let's add a bunch of 3 clicks and some deletes and Joe Coolies and some. Let's add that in the AI. All right, let's see what happens. But yeah, so we have AI scratching because we're working on the regular sequencer for this, but in the stages of staging and just pin testing and all that things like that, this AI kind of version came out. So we're releasing the AI sequencer before the actual regular sequencer. So be on the lookout for the regular sequencer in a future update. We're gonna be expanding this into a full DAW for turntablists, and scratch scientists. If you're looking to make battle records or any type of different type of scratching technology, the calculator mode can help you with that with skipless technology. Skipless technology things tend to be based on 33. So 33 point. If you need to have a lot of decimal places, that right times 3. Let's do what 33 and a third times 3 equals. You got 100 beats per minute right there. 100 beats per minute is that magic speed that DJ Swamp figured out, right? So DJ Swamp is one of the most foundational turntablist mathematicians. Him and Steve D and so many people that found so many different discoveries. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Theodore and everybody. But yeah, so we see that. So let's say I take the next another popular speed 133.33333 beats per minute. Instead of having to hit threes a bunch of times, you can just hit the button 33 and it takes you there a lot faster, and you have a lot of decimal places here. So I can do that. So I can do, if I'm making a battle record, I'm saying, oh, this one speed is going to be that, but what if I divide it into 2 pieces, right? What's the half of that? So let's say divide it, this beat's going to have 2 beats within that square pattern that it makes, because 133 beats per minute makes a square pattern. And also we're going to be making the junglist version of this very soon, the Amen version of this sampler, where it's drum scratches and Amen breaks and stuff like that. So the AI, it's going to be AI Amen breaks and AI drum breaks, and this is the PMOS 100 scratch version. This is the scratch version, the classical scratch tool. All right, but we're going to be dropping a million versions of this actually, with all different types of samples and images and even GIFs inside the images and all types of motion graphics and stuff. It's about to get really crazy. All right, so we're going to do divided by 2 equals, right? So that's how you get these different numbers. And let's divide that by 3. Divide that by 3 equals, right? So these are how you get all these, special numbers, and different types of, speeds, so we had chopped that square pattern, that 133 beats per minute, fast electro kind of, even you could say garage or a lot of techno with, faster techno would use those speeds. A lot of even old school hardcore stuff would use those speeds. A lot of trance uses these speeds. But yeah, so that's the calculator version. And let's go back to this general just loop switch. All right, so let's turn this on again. All right, so let's listen to the chirp flare. All right, so that's a combination between the chirp scratch and the flare scratch. And it's very important to note that, see how this flare scratch is taller than the chirp, because these pitches are kind of the same, right? The first, the angle of these are about the same. That means the pitch is pretty much the same. So in TTM notation, angle and pitch are the same thing. Just like in architecture, angle and pitch are the same thing, in mathematics. So yeah, so like you have the forward cut here for those that are new to TTM. The forward cut, the angle is going at a constant rate, because that's the constant speed of the vinyl. But if you're going faster than the speed of the vinyl, it's going to have more than a 1-to-1 ratio. If you're going slower than the speed of the vinyl, it's going to have a lower than 1-to-1 ratio. You see, it's going half speed right there, and this one's going double speed right there. So this one's going to be 1 octave up. This one's going to be 1 octave down, technically. But you don't have to be that detailed when you're drawing it. You're just showing that it's a lower pitch. You don't have to, have the exact angle, obviously. But, it can give you a gauge. Yeah, so that's wrapping up this this AI version. And let's close it and open it up again, so from the beginning. Because you guys didn't get to see that, so let's open this up. And this is just a version that's straight off a DMG. It's not even installed, dragged on the computer. So you can change the size of this. You can make it full screen. If you want to make it full screen, let's see, full screen. But this QuickTime screen I'm doing is smaller though than the full screen. But let me get out of full screen. Yeah, so and then the Android version, this isn't in a 10x10 stance. It's like I believe it's 7 wide, I think. Yeah, is the dimensions, 7 by something. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want the DM, just DM me to all the people that already have it. Shout out to all the supporters that already have this. And let's actually hear what some of these sound like over like a metronome. Actually, I wanted to add that so you can just hear it. This is gonna we're gonna go by they're having the little digital bleep on the 1, but I'm gonna count the 1 as 3 kicks and then the little bleep at the end of the phrase. So I'm gonna make the bleep the last count in the bar. So I'm gonna start off as going kick, 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 bleep, kick, 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 bleep, kick, 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 bleep. So, whoops. Kick, 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 bleep. So I'm going by 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that's without the loop on. I'm gonna turn the loop on. Wait a sec. Here we go. So that's me doing it with my finger with the mouse. So you see it's not as on point. But if I hit it with the keyboard, it's a lot more on point because it's hard to play piano with the mouse. So when you can use the keyboard triggering is super fast. So I'm gonna hit the keyboard instead. Remember, this is my signature scratch. And for producers, if you just want that one type of scratch, you can piece together scratches easier this way too. If you're just trying to piece together some scratches and you don't know the order. But we're going to have the regular sequencer mode for, another update in the future. We're working on that. But yeah, so this 1.4, has this loop function. So remember, some of these are going to make cross rhythms, some aren't. And we're going to have the buttons on here to be able to stretch these and, like I was saying before, make them half speed or, 0.75 speed or, some different speed presets. Remember, this is Qbert's signature scratch, the prism scratch. To a lot of people, it could sound like transforming, but it's not. There we go. So you get the picture. Y'all get the picture. So you get the message. So let's try this delete scratch over that. So I was just using the mouse so you can see the blue button, and when you're using the mouse, it's obviously not as on point. You know, my rhythm was off because I was just clicking it with the mouse. But when you're clicking it with the keyboard, it's on. But I want everybody to see the blue notes. In the future, we'll have it where the keyboard controls the blue notes. But right now, the keyboard doesn't control the blue imagery when you have it when it's unlocked. This one right here sounds a lot of the West Coast rapping styles, like kind of like some Kendrick Lamar kind of what. Alright, so yeah, I was just showing you all that as example. Sounds like video game stuff, which is pretty cool. Let's go back to the sequencer thing. Let's do some more AI stuff. Let's do some of these. I'm going to do a lot of my favorite cuts. You hear me doing these cuts all the time. These are my favorite cuts. I'm going to do this one over here like this, maybe. Maybe add my wild scratch is one of my favorite cuts. I love the OG flare, but I don't do it. I want to start doing it. These triplet chirps, you see me doing that a lot. 3 clicks, you see me 3 clicking a lot. And just a regular nice fresh in there. I don't transform a lot. But let me add some chirp flare in there, some flares. Alright. And let's add a regular 2 click in there. Let's see what happens. All right, so that's just, you see how that's all kind of randomized. But let's see